What up? What it do? We just on here. This is one of the ones. You can watch it now. You can watch it tomorrow. You can watch it next Tuesday. Whenever you watch it, it's up to you. It's just a video. That's the background. That's me in the spotlight, losing my religion. I was I came on real quick because I've been typing this back and forth with people all day and starting to get on my nerves a little bit. So I decided I'd come right on and discuss this thing real quick. It's just me talking in the afternoon. I really don't have a whole lot to say, but I figured I'd come out and say what little bit I had to say. Now, then you can come back and watch it on the replay, and then people can come and type their comments, and all the good saved people can burden me on to the fiery pit. Y'all can send me to hell. So, watch night was Sunday. Yeah, New Year's Eve, whatever day watch night was. This must have been Sunday night. Yeah, because you could have double dosed on church. You could have went to church in a regular way. Um, that people are mad about William Murphy. He had watch night service at his church, and apparently, what went viral were clips of him playing the song "Swag Surf" as they went into the new year. He had everybody come together and they swag surfed. They swag surfed. And people was hot. Oh, people is mad. People is hot. They were like, oh, how can they do it? So now they swag surfing to hell. Everybody's going to hell because they were swag surfing the church. Now, what's interesting is that a lot of people were mad at them for playing the song in church. How you know the song? If you ain't listening to the song, how you know the song? How do you personally know the song? If listen here, somebody can come to me right now and be like, they were playing U2 in church. I'd be like, they were playing U2. I don't know. I don't listen to U2, so I have no idea what it is. You come in and tell me they were playing the Demon Slayer song. I was like, I don't know. I don't listen to any Demon Slayer songs. I don't know any songs by that. But you knew Swag Surf. So at some point in your life, you decided that you want too holy to swag surf. You want too holy to know no lyrics. I'm talking about people knew all the lyrics. I've been in all kinds of environments. I was at a teacher's thing. They played swag surfing. You know what they did? They put it on and let people rock left and right. That's all they did. Don't nobody know what the lyrics are. Nobody. Ron, that's fine. Yeah, I should be available at 8:30. Send it to me. All people wanted to do was rock left and right and feel good. So now you mad because people went into their 2024 feeling good. Because there's some people out there that feel like the only thing that you can be that's gonna make you holy is if you weeping and gnashing teeth. If you ain't going to 2024 bawling out, crying, and on the ground, oh God, oh God. Listen, we've been going to church and leaving depressed way too long. I don't know about you, but when I got baptized, there was water in there. Now, some of y'all clearly baptized in lemon juice. Some of y'all was baptized in antacid. Some of y'all, that's just how y'all feel. Everything that y'all sing in church, that's secular music. Everything y'all sing in church ain't gospel. May his peace be with you till we meet again. Find it in the Bible. Can't find it. Never would have made it. Don't never mention Jesus. Not one single time. Never would have made it without you. Who is you? Who is you? He ain't never say Jesus. You know why? He wanted to make the song marketable. The song became marketable when he ain't say the word Jesus in it. He saw the best in me. And they don't say God saw, Jesus saw, none of that stuff. But y'all will rock that. Y'all will know all of this stuff. Y'all take a clip off of Facebook. And here's the thing. Y'all took the clip of the song The clip of his sermon. Now, in each of those things that they played, right? He played Walk It Out in church. Guy was like, he played Walk It Out too. But did you notice before he played Walk It Out, there was an actual biblical basis? Walk it out. He told them why they was walking it out, what you were walking out from. Then he said, go and grab your neighbor. Said, we gonna walk out of this together. You don't even know what the this is. You just, man, they played Walk It Out in the church. They did. Here's what's so funny about the good Christian folk. If you really go and look at it, people like the Christian folk, that's who killed Jesus. You know, they were the first ones to get mad because Jesus kept coming to church doing stuff that they had deemed won't church like. Jesus came to church, did stuff that won't church like. I asked somebody to explain to me, well, why was what they did wrong? Like, why what he did was wrong? Why was it wrong? And somebody told me because the church is supposed to be a house of prayer. They prayed. So according to you, because the church is a house of prayer, you're like, Jesus turned the tables over in the church because they were selling stuff in there. Okay. So now every church bookstore we got to get rid of. We got to get rid of it. Because Jesus didn't want nobody selling nothing in the temple. It's got to be a house of prayer. So that means you can't preach because it's a house of prayer. The only thing you can do is go in there and pray. You can't minister to the youth. You can't do seminars about getting your finances straight because it's a house of prayer. You can't come in there. Man, if you got yourself a pantry in your church, boy, you better get that pantry out of it because they ain't praying in the pantry. And guess what? Even sinners is coming in there to get food. And you don't know what they're going to do with that food. Somebody might buy some of that whipped cream you give out in your church pantry. You know what they're going to end up doing with it? Putting it on each other in unholy ways. You can't do nothing in the church. Trivia, pray. If you go in that church, do anything but pray, you outside of the will of God. But it's crazy to me, right? Because these same people, I say, so we sticking word for word to what the Bible says, right? We sticking word to word, right? We live by the word. That's it. Okay, cool. So why y'all got these women talking in church? I done seen a whole lot of women talk in church. I wouldn't seen women preaching. I done seen women head of the church. How's that happening? I done seen women deacons. It's been deacons in there. Listen, we don't have to count. See, we've grown from that. No, see, that's back then. We've grown from that. Oh, okay. All right. Are we out here wearing mixed fabrics? Mixed fabrics? Polly and Esther? Yeah, no, no, that's it's in the Bible. Can't. I done seen barbecue sales at the church. They done had, you had barbecue crabs at the church? Oh, no, sir. That's outside of the will of God. What is we doing? What is we doing? You know what nobody mentioned about William Murphy's service, which is crazy to me? Everybody mentioned that they were swag surfing. They played Walk It Out. Nobody mentioned that 100 plus people, 100 plus got saved at the end of the service. 100 plus. You didn't even have 100 people at your watch night service. 100 plus got saved at his, though. 100 plus. 100 plus. 150. I couldn't remember. I ain't want to throw a number. I knew 150. I know I went to public schools, but I know 150 is more than 100. That's why I put the plus at the end, because I won't sure what it went to. 150 got saved. Ain't nobody mentioning that part. Y'all ain't throw it out there. But y'all, man, I seen people. When is it now that the Bible just won't do? Because I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes it don't. Here's what's funny. Everybody be like, why can't the Bible do? Why can't we just preach holiness? Why the Bible just won't do? I'll tell you why. Even Jesus knew the Bible won't just do. Jesus ain't gonna read no scripture. Jesus was a little confused, and you couldn't go to Jesus and get a straight answer. I'm gonna tell you one thing. I would have never. Me and Jesus would have argued the whole time. Because if I'm gonna ask you a question, Jesus, you gonna come back and give me a parable. I got time for that. All I asked you was, what time is dinner? And here you go. What time does man say dinner is? You know what? See, this what I'm talking about, Jesus. This right here. You making things difficult. I don't know whether I should eat this snack now or wait because we're gonna have dinner at 7. Y'all mad. Why? Why isn't the Bible just so all I gotta do is go out there and read the Bible? According to y'all, we don't need no preachers. We just need everybody to just read the Bible. The parables would have made me tussle. And here's the thing. Jesus was smart enough to be like, let me give this to these people in a way that they can digest it. Let me give it to it. I'm gonna be honest with you. Everything ain't for everybody. You might not be a swag surf churcher, and that's fine with me. But I ain't mad at them over there swag surfing. Swag surf for the Lord. I'm almost listen. They did this. This is what they did. Everybody's choir did that. Let Melodies from Heaven come on. You had your little flamboyant, little flamboyant choir director. When they did this right here, you won't do it but swag surf. You just put your hands on the other shoulder. We've been doing that. It's the same what we've been doing. Ain't nothing new under the sun. What's crazy about me, to me, is how a lot of y'all folk, especially my good churchy people, I'm talking about my good churchy folk, I love to throw out cliches. Whatever the devil made for bad, God can turn it into good. But he can't do it with music. God ain't strong enough to turn swag surf to good. He now, now we gone too far. We as in the Lord, I cut my hand washing dishes. This is why I'm trying to find a wife in 2024. He can turn anything in. What? Listen, the money of the wicked is saved up for the righteous. And meanwhile, my car's getting repossessed. When can I get some of that wicked money? Let me hold on to some of that. When do I get to trade mine in? We get caught up on a lot of that stuff. That's crazy. I done seen the same people who went to go see Color Purple talk about they can't play swag surfing in church. What? You just went to go see Color Purple? Oh, that's different though. That's different. No, that's different. That's Color Purple. That's different. That's Sealy. Y'all need to get y'all minds right, man. Everything ain't for everybody. I'm gonna tell you what, it's some people who need to go to a church where they just sit there and sing hymnal number one. I know hymnal one. Hymnal one is holy, holy, holy. I know holy, holy, holy. That's just hymnal one. Here's what I always say. I be like, well, show me where Jesus was mad at any of the songs in his day. When Jesus was at the wedding reception, they had songs there. Jesus ain't be like, oh no, cuz I can't be in here. They not playing Rand Salad. Y'all mad at William Murphy for being effective. That man being effective. That man is in Atlanta. He knows Atlanta. He knows Atlanta people. He know what the sinners in Atlanta need. They need to twerk. They need to twerk a little bit. Y'all mad because they won't talk about y'all service. Because y'all service ain't going. But that's what you mad for. Because it's 2024, and there's more in 24. Don't leave behind the door what you can have in 24. I know that God said this year is your year. Is everybody year? Everybody in here. Everybody gonna have that great year. That's what you wanted. And as we woke up on 2024, I need you to remember last year, this year, I need you to know God is going to do a new thing. And everything that happened to you was just a set up for your lift up. I need you to know that, man, dog, we heard all of that. And everybody was in there just yelling and screaming. Now on the count of when we hit the clock hits 12, I want all of y'all to make a loud, crazy noise. And then you mad at me because I'm in the church. Go, yeah! I be making whale sounds. Yeah! That's all y'all did. So you mad because y'all walked out. Y'all felt exactly the way that y'all felt the same way. You was just tired and up late. I don't know about you, but God brought me through 2023. Guess what? For some people, God brought them through 2023, but it wasn't nothing to celebrate. You know, it was a lot of hell in 2023. A lot of them went through that. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I need to go to a place where I know not only am I going to get something spiritually, but I'm going to feel a little bit better. I'm finna walk out of the church and feel better. I'm gonna walk out in church and I'm gonna feel like, hey man, God's got me in this thing. Like I'm okay. Like I literally feel better. So many times you go to church, you come back and we're like, boy, what you feel like? I'm tired. A lot of people just left watch night and felt sleepy. But people walked out the dream center smiling, happy, feeling good, feeling all right. Man, what happened, man? The pastor preached, dog. He told me, man, we're gonna walk out of our sin this year. And then at 12 o'clock, dog, the whole room, all of us, man, where they was black, white, Indian, Asian, Bloods, Crips, straight, gay, because I mean it was in Atlanta, straight, gay, we all got together and we rocked back and forth. We all embraced. It was a room full of love. And we all came together. And y'all mad. Church people is hot. We should be preaching salvation and that's it. That's it. Why not? It worked for my dear mother. It worked. Okay, they did. We here. I ain't mad at your contemporary church. You got a contemporary church. I mean, traditional church. You got your traditional church, and all y'all do is sing hymns, and that's fine. But we've grown so much. Everybody want to be like, isn't it in the Bible? Find me a drum set in the Bible. I'm gonna wait on it. That's the same excuse people use for years. Can't have no drums. Ain't no drums in the church. Find me a drum in the Bible. Matter of fact, find me choir rehearsal in the Bible. Find me Wednesday night Bible study. All that stuff, the stuff that y'all call holy. Convocation. Give it to me. Y'all ain't had no music. Listen, all them songs of Solomon, all them songs of David, them songs ain't had no music to them. Pastors Conference. Show me biblically where it say that your pastor got to go to college before he can be your pastor. If he ain't got no degree. The high sounding cymbals and the harp. Ain't no drums though. I ain't seen no. Larry, you tell me the last church you went to with a harp in it. I'ma wait on it. You show me one church with a harp. Show me a harp church. Y'all mad because they was playing Walking Out in Church. 2 weeks ago, y'all was singing Jingle Bells. 2 weeks ago. Y'all just got finished singing Jingle Bells in church. Man, no problem with it. Let them babies sing Jingle Bells. Let them children sing Mary, Did You Know? This is a dumb song. Mary, Did You Know? Mary, Did You Know is a listen, that's a ridiculous Christmas song. Ridiculous. Of course, Mary knew. The angel came and told Mary the whole plan. And here y'all go asking her, Mary, did you know? Yes. That's easy. Ain't written. Ain't find nothing about no drums. You ain't gonna find nothing. They ain't gonna find their drum in there. Y'all got drums in the church. Hit me with this one. Hit me with this one. Show me a praise team in the Bible. I'm looking for that verse, the praise team verse. Y'all give me the praise team. I'm gonna wait on that. Y'all give me that praise team verse. As soon as I see that, man, I'm gonna be great with that one. Oh, show me the praise break. The praise break. First ladies, I need to see one of them in the Bible. Biblically, just show me what supports the first lady in the Bible. The first lady, like that's a whole position in church now. So y'all show me where the first lady comes in. And that's a position. That's a bib. That's when we keeping it holy. Y'all show it to me. I'm trying to. Ain't nobody. We still ain't found a harp in church yet. Y'all show it to me. I'm a wait on it. There's churches out there that really be like, we ain't gonna have no instruments in this church because won't none in the Bible. They ain't had no band. They ain't had no band in the Bible. Let me ask you this: people always be like, secular music, church don't even be knowing what secular means. They just be throwing it out there. They just throw the word secular out there. If I go on a piano right now and I hit C, I'm just doing this for my musical people because y'all be saints. The saints be sainting. If I go in and hit a C, is it a secular C or a spiritual C? What makes it what separates the C? What makes the C spiritual or secular? Which I'm just going boom. So they want a praise team. They were Levites. The Levites. I thought they were just people who wore jeans. The Levites was just. I thought they were the people that wore jeans in the Bible. AJ said, if it's middle C, could it be both? It's both. If it's middle C, low C, that's probably the hell C. So that's Satan C. High C, that's in heaven. So it's not only a delicious drink. It's crazy. Like we do all this stuff biblically, but not biblically. We make up our mind what's biblical. We finna have y'all fitting. We need to look at when Welch's became Jesus' blood. So the piano is your harp now. It ain't no longer a piano. It's now a harp. I'm on it, Barbara. I just say show me. I ain't above Catholic Church. Because with Catholic Church, you got to stand up too much. I can't be Catholic. You got to stand up, sit down, hit the floor. That's it. Listen, we've been doing everything that they do in the world. We've been doing in church. The very first time I ever line danced, and some of y'all ain't gonna believe it. The very first time I ever line danced was in church. My mama was the director of Sunday school. First time I ever line danced. It was it was to a song called Father Abraham. It was my first line dance ever. Father Abraham had many sons, and many sons had Father Abraham. I am one of them, and so are you. So let's all praise the Lord. Right on, Father Abraham. Did it, whole body. Whole body. It's crazy. I was just listening to Fred Hammond the other day. And Fred Hammond said, Larry, that song rocks because you got to go through the whole body. Let's all praise the Lord. Right arm, right foot, left foot, head up, head down, turn around, sit down. You got to go through the whole song. It's about 45 minutes, but it's great. It's a line dance. Father Abraham rocked in church. You hear me? First line dance I ever did. Fred Hammond just got finished saying that the song No Weapon. I watched him with Kev on stage. Y'all go look at the interview. Look the interview up. Fred Hammond said, I got the song. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna send it to you, Larry. Fred Hammond said he got the song No Weapon. He got the song No Weapon. Yeah, Larry, he ain't been to nobody Bible school, Sunday school. He don't know. He don't know. If he don't know Father Abraham, he ain't in there like he say he is. Fred Hammond said he got the song No Weapon from listening to Boys the Men's. I'll make love to you or End of the Road. Or Bended Knee. One of those. But that's where he got No Weapon from. He said he was listening to the song and they sang something and he took it. Man, it's so many parallels when you start listening. The gospel music, a run is a run. Them dudes be taking gospel runs and putting them in secular songs. Secular artists be listening to the sex runs, and then they be putting them right in your favorite gospel jam. And y'all mad because the man was swag surfing. Y'all mad because the man was swag. Let them people swag surf in their own church. Y'all gonna tell that man that they can't swag surf. Yeah, they can't swag surf. Watch. I tried it, but it was a Lido commercial on. I'm just telling y'all, lighten up. If you know the lyrics of Swag Surf, you just as bad. You know them in your heart. Kurt Franklin, do you know? He take Tony. Kurt Franklin, it's so many Kurt Franklin songs that was secular first. So many. And so here's my thing. You gotta also know everything ain't for everybody. Everything ain't for everybody. So you gotta know one of the things when I first started going to the church I go to now, one of the churches that I went, one of the big things that Bishop, y'all know I go to the mountain, Chesapeake. Bishop Brown, the first thing Bishop Brown said that really got me was Bishop said, we the Wendy's of churches. He said, we the Wendy's of churches. We square burgers. He said, Wendy's makes it because Wendy's is square burgers. If you like square burgers, then Wendy's is your place. Wendy's ain't gonna go make round burgers. Wendy's didn't say we're gonna get round burgers everywhere. Wendy's said we ain't making round burgers because everybody else got round burgers. We square burgers. If you like a square burger, this way you gonna come. He said our church is a square burger. And there's people out there that don't like square burgers just because they square. And some of this I'm paraphrasing, I'm putting my own in. There's a whole lot of people like there's a square burger. I ain't never seen no square cow. Burgers supposed to be round. I ain't going over there at Wendy's because they burgers are square. It's the only reason they not going. You getting your meat? Pause. You get your meat? Pause. But it's getting it square. That's it. Sometimes you got to realize you're going to walk into a situation and you're going to go in and you went in, thought you was getting McDonald's. You thought you was getting some round burgers like everybody else. And then here you go. They got all these square burgers and you kind of confused. I didn't want to go to a square burger place. Or you thought you were going to get square burgers and you ended up getting round. So for the people who walked in and they didn't expect what they got, I get it. But if you know anything about William Murphy Church, he had that thing like a trap house for like a year. He had a church dressed like a trap house. The first time I went to William Murphy Dream Center, I walked in that jank. That jank was a trap house. I was like, this. Tell me what the lack of I don't know sacredness is. Where was the lack of them not reverencing God? You went in there, you knew you was in a church, you knew you was reverencing God, you knew what he was doing. But here's what he's trying to tell you. The part that I don't like is like when people use Bible verses and don't use the part before the verse. Yeah, I'm live, shy. I'm not dead. Why would you ask me if I'm live? Yes, I'm live. I'm live. Oh, you want in? That's the only reason why he would ask me that. Let me go ahead and invite Pastor Shy. What about it made it lack the reverence? What about it made it lack the reverence to God that y'all are referring to? Because I don't know how it wasn't reverent. I'm gonna tell y'all this, and some of this stuff I go with. Let me be honest with y'all about one of the things about it. Some of my you see me in the evening. Some of my bias against when people say that kind of stuff comes from a place of there's a whole lot of people that don't believe that you should have any kind of comedy in church. There's nothing funny about Jesus. There's nothing funny about my walk with Christ. There's nothing to laugh at in the church. You are mocking God. I don't. I might mock some of his people. Y'all deserve mockery. But I've been to church and I've had people come to me. We've done some of our LOL Sundays or the Sunday morning services where we've gone in on Sunday and we've had more people come and be like, dog, I've been coming to church my whole life and I've never felt good about church until today. I've had cats come to me and be like, dog, I didn't know you could be a real person and go to church. Pastor Shah just want everybody to know that he got an email. This is why black people, we ain't gonna never get nowhere. We just be getting new stuff and we want everybody to see it. Shooting me an email. I've been sending him text messages all this time. Now all of a sudden, because they got their own email address, he wants me to send them one. This is crazy out here. PastorShy.WOCC. This is why I can't do it. And now you got pastors out here that don't have their phones on. How do people when they start having problems, how they supposed to come to you and let you know? Is somebody crying out for the Lord right now? There's a Levite. I just want everybody to look at it differently. So I'm gonna bring Pastor Shy on because I know they did something different for their watch night. I'm gonna bring him in real quick. I wish I could get one of them traditional people who hated everything about what happened with with William Murphy. If you hated everything that went on and you one of them pastors is like, I hate it. I hate everything about it. Y'all hit me up. I'm bringing you in here too. Because I want to know why y'all hated it so much. Why y'all was so mad? What angered you? Who hurt you? I sent you the email, Pastor Shy. So we about to have Pastor Shy come on real quick. Because I'm just a who's probably gonna sin again. So Lord forgive me. Some things I don't understand. All right, here comes my man, Pastor Shy. If y'all don't know, this is Pastor Shy, World Outreach Christian Center. He did not hire me for watch night this year. He went with a a better comedian and better friend. He went with Griff, but I can't hear you. What?
Okay, hold on a second.
I
Hold
mean,
on a
I
second.
can hear you. I can hear you. You won't talk, and that was part of the reason why I couldn't hear
Okay,
you.
can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me just do one more thing. I got to get off Facebook so I get. I can. I can.
All
Okay, I
right.
got to get off Facebook. All right,
I
there we
get up.
go.
Can
All right,
you
we
hear
good now.
me?
Okay. Yeah,
All right.
we
What's
good.
going
I
on,
can hear
bro?
you. What up, fam?
What's
All
going
right,
on
so
with you?
ain't not much, baby. Ain't not much. I mean, I've
Well,
been.
talk
I
about
didn't
William
watch.
Murphy.
Okay. Well, of course, I didn't see it. I just saw all the smoke,
And you
which
know what? There's smoke.
there's
There's
a lot of
fire.
smoke. Yeah, there's a lot of smoke out there. So, of course, a little bit. So I don't want to prejudge it because I didn't see it. Unlike some dudes who will do a whole podcast and say I didn't watch the clip. You know what I'm talking about with Griff.
Oh, got there
So
late. You came to the party late. What you gonna talk
came to
about?
the
What
part late.
happened?
So I don't want to make any preconceived judgments without having seen the whole thing. How about that?
Gotcha.
Okay.
So let me give you
But
what generally happened.
okay, talk to me.
At the end of the service, when they were going into the watch night, which first and foremost can't find a watch night service in the Bible anywhere. So let's
Hmm.
talk about, since people are mad about
Okay.
watch night, but that's that.
Okay.
When they went into
Okay.
the 12 o'clock hour, Pastor Murphy had preached, brought everybody up,
Okay.
and they decided to swag surf
Okay.
into to to into the 2024.
Okay.
Swag surfing, of course, the little dance, you ain't doing no rocking left to right.
Right. Yeah, I know that. Okay.
People had a problem with the song. Now, what I noticed is somebody went and Googled the lyrics, and the lyrics is about
Okay.
drinking and smoking and this, that, and the third, right? But they
Okay.
did not play the song. They had the DJ lead off with
They
"I'm
had.
swag, I'm surfing,"
Okay.
and when they did
Okay.
that, the band played it.
Got you.
The
Okay.
band played the music. The
Okay.
band played basically the melody, but everybody knew go left, right, left,
Right.
right. He was just doing unity, bringing joy, and every now and again the DJ would come in and say, "I'm swagging, I'm surfing, I'm
Okay.
clean like this detergent," and then he cut out,
Got you.
band come right back in. Bam, 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 bam,
Okay.
bam, ba, ba, da, da,
Okay.
da, da. So people, oh, they were swag surfing and that song, and like people say, the church has no backbone and it's sickening. I just saw that the church is acting more and more like the world, or is the
Okay.
world acting more and more like church? Because,
Okay.
but that's a whole different story. So
Got you.
give
I'm
me
with you.
what you got on it, Pastor Shy.
Okay. So there's a couple things. If those that don't, but I know some of your audience knows me, and I'm a try to be a pretty balanced person. Okay. So
You are the
again,
raisin
there's
brand. You are the raisin. You are frosted raisin brand. If you had to be a
okay.
cereal, you healthy enough to be a good cereal, but you got a little frosting on it that makes it fun.
Okay, there you I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Now out the gate, I think it seems like some of this is just residual smoke because I know that he's been going viral a lot lately. And so I think that some of this could be just residual smoke, if that makes sense. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now again, there's two sides of this, right? Because I am more progressive when it comes to things that I may enjoy that some people may think, that's out of pocket, and including music, right? So I don't, for those that are watching, I don't just listen to gospel music. Okay.
Because there's a
Let's just
place for
put that
all
out
of
there. It's a place for it, right?
it. And
Um,
can we get into the fact that, and this might blow some people's minds, and I'm gonna say this to you because
okay,
I know you're gonna get it. All
sure.
gospel music ain't gospel music.
Absolutely.
If you were to take the gospel is something very specific. The birth,
Listen,
crucifixion, and resurrection of
yeah,
Christ.
absolutely.
That is the
Yeah,
gospel.
Donnie addressed that in a song years ago, and he made that plain. A lot of it, so put it this
Inspirational.
way,
Some of it
put it like
inspirational.
this. America is not a Christian nation. It just used the Bible, but it's not a Christian nation. Okay. Because many people who say this is a Christian nation, you have to explain to me how you can be having worship service upstairs and slaves in the basement. You have to explain to me the whole thing of picnic. Where does that come from? As a matter of fact, watch night goes back to slavery, right?
Correct.
And so America itself is not a Christian nation. It just used the Bible for its own benefit. So let's put that out there in the open. So now I have two sides of this, right? For those who are ultra conservative, even in the church community, I don't hate them for being that, right? So for those that they say these are my boundaries, I'm okay with that because the Bible says that if something convicts you, to you it is sin. Okay, so
Mm.
there's certain things that I can't give you a scripture. Now, some things are just black and white, right? It's just some things are just plain. But then you have these areas, eating, right? There's a scripture that talks about eating pork. There are some people that do not eat pork and they feel convicted about it because they live under the Old Testament dietary laws. Paul put it this way. Paul said, listen, I can eat all the pork I want because I don't believe pork is sending me to hell. But if I'm in the presence of somebody who's a brother that feels convicted about it, I'm not going to offer him a ham sandwich, nor am I going to eat pork in his presence because at that point, is it about more about me or more about my brother?
So
Okay,
can I ask you this on that one?
sure.
I so here's my thing, and I don't know if I'm wrong or I'm right. Does that also depend on the maturity level of the person that's there? So for me, I don't smoke weed, right?
Mm.
I ain't mad at people who do. People are upset about it. Listen, I don't know where in the Bible it says don't smoke weed. I haven't found it. It's now legal. It's not even an illicit drug in most states. So I don't really get into that fight with weed with people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't smoke weed. I'm not mad at people who do.
Mm-hmm.
If you say I'm gonna have an edible and you sit in the room, I'm good. I don't want one. I ain't mad at you for it.
Okay.
So conversely, if I know somebody don't eat pork, I might not offer them pork. But if we go out and we at IHOP, I'ma have this bacon. Now I don't know if that's go. Now what I wouldn't do is if my
Okay.
alcoholic friend is at the table with me,
Correct.
I'm not gonna order a drink.
But to that person, and again, I'm talking about a person who has a strong conviction,
Okay,
right? For
okay,
me,
right. I wouldn't
if
convince.
this
Right,
person has a strong conviction about it, and I know he does, then I'm not going to do that because
got
it's
you.
not that serious that I'm going to do this to prove a point to him while offending him in an area that I realize he has a strong conviction. That's why the Bible
Okay,
says if you know that this brother is living by a particular way and it's offensive to him, then why would you
tenfold,
do that in his presence when it's just you and him? What are you trying to prove at that point? Okay.
tenfold. Got you.
So when it comes to, again, I understand. So let me say a few quick things, right? When it comes to our faith as believers, right? Again, this is not I'm not saying this is Pastor Shad, this is his line. I just something to think about. Okay. One of the things that I think we have to be careful about and why you feel so many people who are so protective, and that's a good word I want to use. I think there's some people in their hearts, not everybody. I'm not talking about people who are just going to judge anything and everybody, but there's a group of people who are protective of the faith, right? They just look and say, okay, are we going too far? Because we don't throw stones at is people who practice Islam. Because if you go into a mosque, you're not going to wear a hat, right? A woman is not going to go uncovered. And we're not saying they're being judgmental. We're not saying what's wrong with Islamic people. When you go into the Jehovah's Witness Kingdom Hall, they have a standard of rules. And watch this: there are certain restaurants you have to wear a jacket, right? And so we're not. They're being judgmental because they wear a jacket. Well, just don't go. And I think that's one of the things that we classify anybody who disagrees with something as being judgmental. Sometimes they're just being protective. Can some people be judgmental? Absolutely. But I don't have a problem with people saying, okay, where's the faith going? Because we're getting to the point where there used to be a dividing line of those who were believers and those who were unbelievers. And I'm not talking about judgment, I'm just talking about lifestyle, right? I'm
Hmm.
talking about you could see a woman And something about her appearance says she must be a godly woman, right? Because she carries herself in a way that she's not really trying to be extra revealing,
And let's
because
say the
she
same thing
wants
for
to.
men because I don't want nobody to act like we bashing women, men too.
Yeah,
But go ahead.
men too. But in today's time, how outside of pockets, most men are not wearing tank tops to church. Most men, we just don't dress like that when we come to church. We're not being
We
ultra
dress
revealing.
differently though. I'll say
Right,
this. I think we've gotten to a place of even spiritual and just actual maturity that everybody don't go to church the way they used to. And I think we
right,
made some of those things religious when they were just cultural. So for
right.
example, right coming right out of slavery, the greatest thing a man could get was a suit of clothes. If you
Hmm.
actually go back and watch the movie Rosewood, that boy for his birthday got a suit of
Yeah.
clothes. That's what they called a suit of clothes.
Right,
And
right.
so that was the best thing you could have. And so you
Absolutely,
wore that to church, right? Now we've got to a point now. I've seen pastors jeans, sneakers,
absolutely.
shirt,
I wear jeans.
right? So we've gotten away from some of the cultural stuff. But 10 years ago, I'm gonna say more than 10, 50 years ago, man, that would have been super sin
Oh,
for a
you would
pastor
have
to
been
be in the
thrown
pulpit.
under the bus. And
Yes.
I think, again, when you talk about certain scriptures, Jesus talks about, he says, the letter kills, but the spirit gives life. So what he's talking about, it's not just what's being said, what's the spirit behind it. So modesty, right? Modesty can come in any, it doesn't have to be a suit to be modest. So even though I'm wearing jeans, or a sweatshirt or something, it's a modesty that says I'm not trying to reveal myself, if that makes sense, right? It's modesty. And so when we talk about modesty, and then again, because you got people that are saying, how far can we go? Because there was a time that's that a certain dress or a certain look was considered not modest because it revealed body parts. Does that make sense? Now,
Mhm.
of course, now you get to the point where, because if you keep pushing the line, then what you end up having is no line, because now any correction is considered judgment. And I think that's a word that's been tossed around so much that even if you just correct somebody, you're judging somebody. Well, if correction is judgment, then we'll take an old narrative. If I see you crossing the street and you're about to get hit, and I say, get off the street, you stand and say, don't judge me. I stand where I want to stand. You're dead, right? Because at some point, you have to, and I think that's what we've done. We've allowed a couple of things. We've allowed the world, when it comes to influence, we've allowed the world to somewhat influence the church to where if the church pushes back, we're being called judgmental because we're not co-signing on where somebody needs to come in. And again, I say the same thing. That same brother, and I got brothers from the hoods come to my church,
Yes,
but that
yes, you
same
do.
brother who you would say, listen, man, you know, you might not want to have your hat on in here, or you know what I'm saying? We're being judgmental, but go before the judge and go there without a belt. There's some judges in my city that will hold you in contempt based on what you wear. And so I just think that there's nothing wrong with having a standard, but the standard has to be tempered in the spirit of love. It's not throwing people away, because I've had that happen too. For those that think I'm being too one way or the other, I had a young lady come to our church years ago, and you could tell she was not church. She had nothing to do with church, and so she was dressed like somebody dressed who's never going to church. She walked through the door, and before she could sit down, somebody handed her a lap cloth. I immediately saw the shame on her face. I immediately saw her feel like, why did I come? From the pulpit, when I saw what happened, I addressed it. And I said to her, listen, young lady, I saw what happened. And I want you to know that I apologize, because in our church, we do want to hold the standard. But that standard is for mature people who know better. It's apparently that you were just coming in, and please, would you forgive me and even the ushers who did that? Because the ushers weren't trying to be mean. They were just sincerely trying to hold the standard, but they
Or what the
slipped
church
by not
was.
understanding that you don't put principle above people at the cost of people.
So let me ask you this. This
Sure.
and people seem to be enjoying the conversation, so we'll kind of slide a little longer than I was
Okay.
going to. Where do we where do we do this? Where do we start to realize that a lot of this stuff is not biblical, it's
It's cultural.
cultural?
Hmm.
A lot of stuff is not biblical, it's cultural. I'll take, for example, cuss words.
Right.
Cuss
I'm with
words
you.
have varied over the years.
Right.
Words that are now deemed cuss words won't cuss words long ago. I used to
Hmm.
get beat as a kid for saying lie. That
Right.
was
I
a bad word.
remember.
Yeah, can't no kids say
Right.
lie. You
Right.
gonna do something that rhymes with lie if you say it. So even when we start talking about clothing and
Hmm.
things that are the world, when are we
Right.
starting to put a precedent above what is actually biblical and what is just a
Biblical versus
cultural?
cultural.
Yeah, because to be honest, none of us are wearing what Jesus wore.
Absolutely.
Because
But
culturally we change. There's still Bible verses that say about mixed fabrics. We
right.
still
Absolutely.
can't, but we wearing mixed
Absolutely.
fabrics.
Absolutely.
So many different things have changed from that time.
Yeah.
When do we draw the line? Because we got people that are condemning folk to hell for wearing jeans in church, and that's not
Absolutely.
even a condemnable offense. Not that I know of.
So it's two things, and coach. So I want to say this, that God honors culture that does not dishonor God. Okay, because if you go to another country, you better learn that culture.
Hmm.
There are certain countries, if you shake somebody with your right hand, that is the ultimate sign of disrespect.
If you show them the
And
bottom of your foot,
okay, so what do we do when we go over there? Do we say, well, that's cultural and I'm not going to do it, so I'm going to do what I want to do? No, you honor the culture as long as the culture does not dishonor God, right? Driving on a certain side of the road, that's cultural, right? You go to other countries, you don't drive on this side of the road. So what do we do? Say, well, because I want to be of that culture, now I'm going to drive on the wrong side of the road. So there are certain cultural things that they're okay to comply with as long as they don't dishonor God. And speaking of culture, like you said, fabric, again, it's the spirit of a thing. So I want people to think about this. When God said that he wants, and I'm not picking on people because men, it applies to men too, but the scripture talks about women dressing in modest apparel. I want you to think about how those women dressed. Those women who he addressed were Middle Eastern, covered completely. He's telling them to be modest. So if the spirit of the word was telling women who you couldn't see nothing to be modest, then you have to include that in your dissertation of modesty, because though modesty is cultural, God's spirit was speaking modesty to a people who were so modest we would call them old-fashioned. So what was God saying? God was saying that there's an apparel that I want you to wear that's not provocative and that's not tempting. I've heard somebody say, well, praise leaders dressing over provocatively. Well, men shouldn't be lusting. Hold on a second. If I'm starving and you put a burger in front of me, who created the lust? You understand what I'm saying? And so, because I'm coming to church, the idea of coming to church is to get the glory off of me and put it to heaven. I'm not coming to church to be seen per se. I'm coming to church to show him off. We come to worship. We come to the house of God so that we can encounter God in the way that God requires. And I think that's the other thing that gets lost. And that's why some people are protective, because most culture has hit the church so much that we've almost dismissed the commandments because we put culture above commandment. And so here's what we say: I don't care what that Bible says, right? Because this is accepted in my world. Hold on a second. We're believers. And so we can't dismiss the Bible if it doesn't line up with our culture. And so my stance is I always err on the side of caution, right? Um, no, when it comes to smoking weed and things, it's more about taking on things that alter you, right? Because when you are altered, now you're making decisions that are not godly because your mind state is altered. You're altering your whole being. And so you're succumbing to the influence of something that's not God. Can I find a scripture that says don't smoke weed? No. But
mm-mm.
in my life, I err on the side of caution because at the end of the day, if I don't smoke weed, what have I lost? So if I go
So
my
I
whole
give you
life and say
that.
I'm not going to smoke, yeah,
I definitely give you that. So here's one of the big things that I have, and you
sure.
said it earlier, and I think it's one of the things that it's so funny because I can give you a world correlation. You talked about the letter and the spirit. It's the same
Yeah.
thing when we start talking about the law itself, the law that
Absolutely.
we follow. It. What is the spirit of the law, and what
Right.
is the letter of the law? By
Yes,
spirit
sir.
of the law, you can't cross anywhere but in a crosswalk. If you want to cross the street, anything
Right.
outside of a crosswalk is jaywalking.
Right.
Letter of the law. You
Letter of the
get to
law.
go to jail. Letter
Letter of the law.
letter of the
Yes,
law.
sir.
This is a
Yeah.
ticketable offense.
Yeah.
But we all have gone and be like, this is a reasonable place to cross the street. The spirit
Right.
of the law is so that it keeps people
That's
safe.
good.
It,
Yeah.
it keeps people safe. It prevents accidents. It helps us with the right of way and all of that stuff. It's really just we want you to be somewhere safe crossing the street.
Absolutely. And the perfect example of that, most of us know it. Who the story of the woman caught in the act of adultery, right? The Pharisees catch this woman and they bring it to Jesus. And there's a lot of preaching points. I'm not trying to preach, but they say we caught this woman in the act of adultery, the very act. Again, most people can recognize that they caught a woman committing adultery, but there's no dude to be found. That's a whole nother story. And so they say, according to the letter of the law of Moses, this woman should be stoned. Jesus never disagrees with her. He says, you're right, she should be stoned. That is the letter of the law. But let me bring the spirit of the law. Those of you who are without sin, go ahead
You
and throw
can
your
go
first
first.
stone,
Throw the first
right?
one.
Now, here's what he does. He brings the spirit in, and now nobody can throw a stone because they all got sin. But then he looks at a woman and says, okay, now I didn't let them judge you nor kill you, but at the same time, don't go back into practicing sin. So he does two things. He says, listen, stay away from sin. But then when you find yourself in, like you said, crossing the street, before we throw our stone, let's make sure we've never gone outside the street, because ultimately what the commandments are designed to do is to give us a God designed life. And I've often asked people at the end of the day, even when it comes to the 10 commandments, people who hate the 10 commandments, my question is, what do you hate about them? What is wrong with loving God? What is wrong with not lying? What is wrong with not murdering? What is wrong with not coveting?
And
But
please let
because it's
people know that that's
presented,
what. Please let them people know that that's what that is thou shalt not
coveting is
murder.
thou shalt
Let
not
people know
murder.
that that is thou shalt not murder because people just really like thou shalt not kill. And but
Yeah,
then
don't murder.
but the Lord had
Yeah,
armies.
he
He
had
had
armies.
David
Right,
kill
right.
Goliath.
Don't
It, don't
don't
murder.
be out here intentionally murdering people just with just because you want to murder
With the
somebody.
malice in their heart.
Killing
Right.
is different, right? Killing happens in every conflict, in every war. Killing is different than murder, right?
Correct.
So he says, don't be out here just popping off just because you want to pop off and hurt
Yeah, let
kill
them know
somebody
it's not
because
murder
they
because people will be like, because that's the main thing that people will try to throw as a when they're detractors of the Ten Commandments. They're like, well, see, look,
absolutely,
God contradicting himself right there. How you gonna tell me thou shalt not
absolutely,
kill, but then you tell David to go kill Goliath? So yeah, it's
absolutely.
different. Yep.
But then again, like you just said, it's amazing to me, Cletus. I think most of your detractors are end up being people who are going to find something wrong because they don't want to do what what's deemed right that they don't agree with, right? I would rather be found finding out that I had more liberty than I did. And I'm a pretty liberal fella, right? So going back to William Murphy, yeah, if they would have seen my service, I probably would be viral if I was more famous, right? Because we had an 80s theme. I had the Kango on. God help me. The man of God had a Kango on when he was preaching. Yeah, praise the Lord.
It was also you also had
Had
on
a
a Adidas tracksuit.
and had the Dookie chain, not just the regular chain, the Dookie chain, right? So again, that's why without understanding all the concepts of what was going on, yeah, there are times that again, I understand again, I'm not mad at people that saying, listen, let's just be mindful of holding the line. Let's not just not have the conversation because at some point you will. At some point, look how much things have changed, and my question is all change good? All the things that we accept in church now, is it all good? Is it are we gonna lose sleep if we decide not to play no secular music in church? I mean, is that
So I don't think we're gonna lose sleep. Here's my thing about it, and I'm still gonna kind of stand somewhat
yeah,
strong on this. Is
okay.
that there's so many ways. God in all the infinite wisdom and all that He did in the grand design, we can believe that God knew what we were going to be before we were born. He knew every hair on our head, all of these things, right? But we can't believe that God. We can believe that God can make a rock cry out. We can believe that He'll use a donkey. All of these things, but we'll, in the same sense, be like, but no, God can't be in playing swag surfing church. My biggest thing from the William Murphy thing is that people kept talking about that song, but not the 150 plus, a 100 plus. The 150 that was like at the end of the day, dog, I'm about to give my life to Jesus. One like so whatever he preached, which nobody can tell you because that clip didn't go viral. You know what I'm
That don't go
saying?
viral. Right, right,
Nobody, no, he preached. Nobody can go
right,
viral with before to walk it out. Nobody can tell you what he preached before to walk
right,
it out.
right,
They got you there. Everybody can come and detract
right.
because this is not the way we. This is not the way that we supposed to do church. All the stuff that Jesus. I was I was talking to somebody earlier, and I was like, the main reason they wanted Jesus killed is because Jesus won't going into the temple and doing what he was supposed to do in the temple. Today's a day off. You healing people on a day off? The day's the Sabbath, like cuz not today. They got to stay crippled today, like like, and so we get so caught up in the letter of what's
Right.
in there
Absolutely.
that we miss what the spirit is. My whole thing has always been for me personally, and it could be the wrong thought process, but how can I not act in love when that's generally what Jesus' whole message was? The
Well,
whole
that's a
my
good.
whole message is am I loving my neighbor? That am I am
Right.
I am I loving? That's great.
Well, I
So I
mean,
don't know.
because here's something. I'm glad you brought that up because here's another thing I think that over the years have sort of been misconstrued. Because when people say we love God, what do
What's wrong with
we? How
you?
do we just? Right. What's wrong with you? Biblically speaking, here's what Jesus says. He says, "If you love me, I'll know it when you keep my commandments." Right. I don't hear a lot of people justifying or verifying I love God, not because I never get it wrong, but I'm striving to get it right. You understand what I'm saying? It's not just he a good dude. You know, that's my man's in them. Yeah, okay, but what is that saying? Because I can say the same. And again, people, that's not that deep. I'm married. If I say I love my wife, but I'm always doing things that she doesn't like or doing things to dishonor my relationship with her, doesn't matter how I feel because my actions are saying otherwise. And so with those 100 that got saved, we had a large altar call as well. But here's the judgment.
All right,
The
flex your
judgment,
numbers on them. Be like, huh? No, I'm just playing. Go ahead.
um, but here's the thing, even when it comes to salvation, right? New Year's Eve salvations are amazing, but the proof in the pudding is a year later.
What's
Are
happening
they
in March?
still saved?
What's happening
Right.
in March? What's
Because
happening in
because
September?
a lot of people, it's a resolution. It's just spiritual. I'm in church, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes it's not a verified, I'm really giving my life to the Lord. It's really, I want to live better. I'm tired of living like this. Jesus, I done tried everything else. I'm gonna try you. Cool, try him. But trying him is not just putting him on like lotion, it's actually letting him take control of your life. And so my thing is, and I put a post out a couple weeks ago because there was a lot of chat about the Carlton Pearson, Bishop Jake situation. And my post was this
Power bottom.
is that everything, some things don't need my opinion, they need my prayers. Because I think that sometimes the internet has made people feel like their opinion rises above everything else. So some things I don't comment on because I'm just because we don't I don't know the facts. And so I'm just going to pray until the facts come out. When the facts come out, I'll make adjustments because ultimately, as the body of Christ, and something you said too, Cleus, no other religion attacks themselves like we attack ourselves in public. Everybody disagrees, but it's amazing how we will get on a public platform and destroy one another. Because at the end of the day, no, regardless of what I feel about William Murphy, and I don't have any bad feelings, he's a brother in Christ. And when I've had situations when I've disagreed with brothers in Christ, if I have access to them, I don't go to the internet. I pick up my phone and we have conversation, right? That's how I'll handle stuff. If I have a issue with somebody who I know, I'll pick up a phone and we'll just talk about it, whether we agree or
The
disagree.
devil is attacking
But
your internet. Hold on. Say that one more time. The devil was attacking your internet. So whatever you were
okay,
saying was powerful.
Satan, we bind you. So I think that again, for me, we do a lot of public attacking of one another, right? If I had William Murphy's number and I felt some kind of way, which I'm just being honest in this situation because I don't know the whole story, I don't feel some kind of way. But if I did, I wouldn't put out a post. I'd pick up a phone and have a conversation with William and say, "Hey, man, what was blase, blase, blase." I
But
think
most
that we
of
got
the
to be
people who
careful,
did can't. That's one of the bigger things too. Most of the people who had such harsh words for it couldn't contact them. You can't
right?
get to them to be like,
Absolutely,
because here's the thing about that. And I've worked with William Murphy before. I've been to Dream Center. Like I told people when I first went to Dream Center, well, the only time I've been on the church way, um, they had the trap house set up in there, right?
okay,
So if you went that time, you'd have been like, yo, they got a trap house set up on the pulpit.
right,
Martin Luther the King and them probably would have been rolling over walking in. But when I sat and I actually listened to hear what he had to say and the
right.
reason why it was set up, I was like, dog, this makes a whole lot of sense. So a lot of us take stuff, we jump to it, and the people who can't get to William Murphy to talk to William and be like, why? Because here's my thing about it. I've known William Murphy people. People have sung William Murphy songs. People know
Hmm.
all kinds of William Murphy. This he's blessed them in a multitude of ways. I've seen his ministry go from where it was to where it is now. I've seen all of that. Right. I still think God talks to William Murphy. I still
I
think
believe
God is telling William Murphy, "Yo, this is what I need you to do." I don't think William Murphy just be out there just be like, "Yo, I'm just finna do whatever I feel like doing." And so I think that God can tell him, yo, you're gonna get backlash. There's gonna be people, but I
right.
need you to do this because of this. Everybody had those moments, and I think
Yeah.
that's one of the big things.
So there's a scripture I read, and this will bless the people. And this, I think it's Colossians chapter 3. Paul said something, and basically what he said, you can look it up for yourself. He said, "Don't judge anything prematurely." Right?
Mhm.
He said, because Paul said, "I don't even judge my own self, and even though I can't find flaws in my walk, I'm not saying that I'm not flawed." So at the end of the day, judgment is condemnation. That's what it's not correction.
So
There's
don't
a difference in
don't
correction.
condemn, right?
Yeah, there's a difference in correction and condemnation. Now, before you correct, and there's nothing wrong with correct, be sure. So a police officer, if he's gonna pull me over for speeding, be sure I'm speeding.
Make sure I'm speeding. Don't just be like, I
Be sure
feel
I'm
like
speeding.
you were speeding.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
seemed to me like you were speeding.
right.
Like
It
you
felt
can't come to me and be like, and even in the speeding, right? And I love what you said with that one. But even in the speeding, I'm speeding because my wife is in labor in the car next to me. This is life or
okay.
death. That's
Spirit
why
of
I'm
the law.
speeding. So now the officer has to say, "Oh, I understand. There's a reason to why you're
Okay,
doing this." I
okay,
think so many of us become so and with our judgment, some of us
yeah,
become so condemning. The
yeah.
Bible says this, and there's a lot of stuff in the Bible that people pick and choose. I said that before, and I
So right,
always say it. People will pick a part of a verse. They don't put the before that verse
absolutely.
or the after that verse. Like a
The
lot of
culture
people
of the
love to
times.
use the letters to particular churches. Like there are letters to particular churches which
Hmm.
were sent there because this is what I need this church to do. Does
Absolutely,
that necessarily apply to your church? No. And it's good to see, but
it's
it
good to
doesn't
see.
necessarily apply to your church. So like when they say don't have the women talking in church, there's more to that than
A whole
just
lot more
tell
to that
women to shut
story.
up.
There's a whole lot more to that story,
So
brother.
much more to it. So when
Yeah,
people, so that's why I tell people we can't always just pull out well, this is what the Bible says. So for
yeah.
example, and the person that's here, so I don't want nobody to be like I'm talking about people behind the back. The person
Okay,
that I was having a long discussion with about this one is actually on watching it live. And they're like,
okay,
well, the Bible says that the church is a house of prayer. Cool.
okay.
But there's more you can do in church than pray.
Yeah, yeah. Because ultimately, yeah. Because, but again, it's telling you prayer is communication. So the church primarily is a place we come to commune with God, right? And we can commune with God in many different ways. But the primary purpose, so what you're saying is that if we always come to church and there's never no interaction with us and God, then yeah, something's wrong.
Something is
But the
wrong.
way we choose to communicate, it's, you know what I'm saying? We can't now say you can only pray this way, because I remember a time when prayer used to have to sound a certain way. You had to
Must
tune up.
Jesus bear
You had,
the cross alone and all the world go free?
huh?
No, there is a cross
Father
for everyone.
Abraham and Isaac
Yes.
and Jacob, and you know what I'm saying?
Ah,
And
the
so,
bright and morning star. Correct.
well, right. The wheel in the
The
middle of,
middle of
yeah.
a wheel. Right.
So again, but here's another thing that happens is that, and I don't know, I can't speak of other faiths, but it's amazing how the Christian faith, that all you need to consider yourself a teacher is to memorize a few verses. You know, the Bible is very, very clear about another greater level. And here's the other thing with people like Bishop William Murphy. As a pastor, the Bible tells me that the minute I go into teaching mode, prepare yourself, because you're going to be judged with a higher level of condemnation. It's not that deep. You hold natural teachers to a higher level of, because they are the ones who are supposed to be experts at what they do. So if they teach you wrong, they're going to be held accountable. But when it comes to Christianity, people feel like I have the right to just step into this role and I'm just going to teach. And says who? Because once you get into that role, and now everybody with a phone feels like they have the right to be a preacher. I think that's where we get misconceptions too, because a lot of people, it would be a different thing with Bishop William Murphy if there was a council of pastors who had comments about the situation. Most of these comments are not coming from pastors,
Coming from
bishops, or
laymen.
leaders. They're coming from
Hmm.
lay members, right? And then the
Hmm.
Bible also says we ought to be careful of making accusations against those who are in authority. It's not that you can't make an accusation, but you don't just pop off just because you can pop off, because we put everybody in the same category. And I told somebody years ago as a pastor, because people, well, Pastor, I got problems like you do. Yeah, you do. But as a pastor, I have my problems and the problems of my whole church. When lay members just have their problems to deal with, there's a different level of responsibility that leaders have. And so it's better when leaders correct leaders versus lay members feeling like they can just correct anybody. Because this is how we get into all of this, because most of this stuff is somebody who was watching. I'm almost sure it wasn't a leader, somebody who's watching and who was raised to believe certain things. Again, that's your right. The problem is when you disregard and you make the statement that God ain't in something. That's a dangerous statement. For you to say God is not in something, unless you have verifiable proof, and I'm talking about strong biblical proof that this is absolutely not of God, you might want to just, even in the Bible, when there were some guys casting out demons in Jesus' name, but they weren't with the crew. Peter and them was like, Jesus, you want us to put a stop to this, kill these folks, man, because they out here surfing and swagging in your name, and they ain't part of the crew. Jesus said, let them be. He said, let him be. He said, listen, at the end of the day, uh, it'll all come out in the wash. And what harm are they doing by preaching truth and helping people get saved in my name? At the end of the day, I didn't see the service, but when it's all said and done, I'll go back if I need to and watch it. But knowing what I've seen of Bishop William Murphy, and I don't agree with, let me just be clear, I don't agree with everything I've heard and said him do. But I don't disagree with everything I heard him say him do. And if he preached a powerful message, and all they did was from side to side, and they were mindful just to play the music, and not go into the lyrics, because it's more about lyrics. And what they we need to have a conversation about music, because a lot of people, Mahalia Jackson was called the devil when she first started. Did y'all know
They
that?
hated my head. Do you know how hard they went at Kirk Franklin? And
Huh?
Kirk still
Andre
put out
Crouch?
songs. Listen,
Because we don't understand, when you don't understand music, and this is something for another day, but a lot of what we call shout music, you can go back to juke joints, right, and get those same patterns that they did in the juke joints. And it's so this
I
is
do want to
why.
say this on Swag Surf, because Patrick is saying the lyrics are
Okay,
played. If you
somebody
go
said the
back to
lyrics
listen
are
to the
played though.
swag, no, if you go back to listen to the Swag Surfing, all they did was saying we swagging, we surfing, we clean like dish
Right,
detergent. And
right.
then when they got to that, the band actually comes in and plays the now Walk It Out. They did play Walk It Out, because he was telling
Okay.
the people we walking out of this together. Put your hand
Okay.
on your
Okay.
neighbor's shoulder, and the DJ might have got a little. The
He
DJ
slipped
might have
up.
got a little happy, but on Swag Surfing, they did not go into the Swag Surfing lyrics.
But
I went back to listen like
okay.
extently. Yeah.
Listen, this New Year's Eve, I came this close to preaching because I was preaching from 2 Corinthians 5:17 about becoming new. I came this close to preaching the title "So Fresh, So Clean," or "I'm on that new." I was that close. You know
That
what I'm
close.
saying? I was that close. I didn't feel I needed to do that, but there are times that I have done that with my titles because I do want to make sure when Jesus, and this was not so I don't want to make a doctrine out of this, but there was times, not maybe not all the time. Jesus preached in synagogues too, but there were times that he used what was culturally relevant to teach a biblical truth.
Yeah,
Right? Look at the
he
bird.
did regular preaching. Jesus got
Listen,
engagements. He was booked and busy at 12,
okay.
but he
Uh,
also just taught. Jesus got smart with you. Jesus met the woman at the wedding, like, yo,
listen,
dog, where your husband at?
some of the greatest sermons had to do with agriculture, fishing, right? Why? Because he taught in a culture of people who understood those things. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's nothing wrong with making sure you connect with your audience by sharing a biblical truth in a way that they can understand. What teacher you know that's a great teacher that doesn't break it down to your level to make
Gotta
sure
come to where
that
you
you
are.
get the point, right?
And
And
so
so yeah,
when he spoke in the synagogue, he was talking to synagogue people. When he came,
absolutely.
and so that's my thing with William Murphy. I think if William Murphy goes and preaches at the bishops' convention,
I've seen
he's
him do
gonna
it.
come in and he's gonna exegete the text, and he's gonna
I've
do
seen
this,
him
he's
do it.
gonna do that. But then when he comes to Atlanta on watch night,
Yeah.
he about to come in there in Atlanta on watch night and be like, "This is what y'all know. Y'all know this.
Because
Let me give it to you where you know it. Let me speak." And we've taught that same principle, but I think people have expanded it because they've always talked about I can't give a baby steak, I got to give a baby milk, and then the when I was a child, like all of that, you gotta connect somehow.
and if you don't want that, here's something for some people. One of the reasons why so much of this happens in the church is because we got lazy Christians. Because the place of evangelism was supposed to be in the marketplace. Go tell them. But if you're not telling them out there, and evangelism is bringing the church, well, now church has to take on a form of an audience that has not been already evangelized. So on the New Year's Eve service, we know that a primary number of people who are coming are unchurched, right? If you're not going to try to minister to the unchurched, don't let them in, but then don't bring them in and preach something that's so far above their head that they're so confused that there's no room for salvation. Look at the birds. Jesus, you don't get more Jesus than Jesus. You don't get deeper than Jesus. But when he was at the well talking to a sinner woman, look how he started. Hey, give me something to drink. That was the beginning of his dissertation. This Jesus, he could have easily went someplace deep, but he would have not just lost her, he would have lost the whole village by trying to be so deep that he became an inch wide. Rather, he talked to her about something she was doing, getting water. You know what I'm saying? Getting water. And
And
she
that's
was a
what I
sinner.
think. And that's what I think. I think that's what I think we miss. I think we miss what this thing really is supposed to be. I
Yeah,
think we missed what this really is supposed to be. I think like if we look at Christian, that's to be like Christ, is to be like Jesus.
right. Absolutely.
Man, Jesus was that dude. He met everybody where they were. He met everybody. He got smart with them. He got mad with Peter and them. Like I think sometimes we make stuff deeper than it's supposed to be. I really think when they had that storm on the sea and Jesus went to say, "Peace be still." I don't even think it was about him showing his power over the sea. He just was trying to take a
Right,
nap. Jesus,
right. He was chilling.
Jesus.
He was
I've been
snoring.
busy walking. I'm trying to take a nap, and the disciples weren't. These 12 right here, Dad. Look, peace be still, so I can take a nap. It won't about, and we'll make it be like God showed Himself mighty. Jesus wanted to
Well,
take a nap.
look at how he responded to them Because once he told the storm to be quiet, he looked at them and said, "What is y'all problem? What is your faith? What you wake me up for?
Y'all see I'm
What's your
here.
faith?"
I
You just,
I ain't
so
worried. If I get
you ain't
worried,
worried.
y'all get worried.
Y'all
And
get worried.
went here, and I do got a meeting at 7, so I wanted to make sure
Okay.
I get out and get dressed. But one of the points that you made, which was so good, was the same point I made. I did a couple of churches on New Year's Eve, and in one of the
Yeah.
churches, I could tell there was people who were not used to a comedian being up in church. You could see
Mhm.
them like, I don't know if I'm supposed to like this or not. Like, where are we at with
Right.
it? But I also told them, I said, look, here's the key. I'm gonna be the one to tell y'all now. If this the only Sunday you come to church, I'm all right with it.
Right.
I need you to get it this the day though.
Right.
I want
Right.
you to feel comfortable. I want you
Right.
to feel like this is a place you can be. I don't want you to feel as though you any less. The 52 Sunday person is no greater than the one Sunday person. I've
So
never had a problem with Christmas, Mother's Day, and Easter people.
me neither,
I,
brother. I'm
I've
glad you
always
came.
felt this. I've always felt this. If you know you got Christmas, Mother's Day, Easter, New Year's Eve service, then the onus to me is on the pastor to be on your A
Absolutely.
game on that day.
Absolutely.
This is your
Absolutely.
day to be. This the onus is more on the pastor.
Yes, sir.
You gotta get to him because this the only time you gonna get a chance
You
to
going to get
get it.
them?
The
Yes,
52
sir.
Sunday person, you can get him some regurgitated stuff
Hey,
anytime.
yeah.
But they
Yes,
coming
sir.
back.
They coming
I
back.
need you to hit this person. And I think that's what people miss about what William Murphy did. Whether you think it was right or wrong,
Right.
his execution may not be to your liking.
Right.
But William said, I got him one Sunday.
Sir,
I got him one time.
I got them one time.
I got him one time. What can I do to make this thing
While I got
real
them.
to them while I got him? I dare say, he was like, I ain't even worried about them people that's going to be here anyway. What can I
Well,
do to get the
because
ones that I ain't gonna never get?
here's the so when I go, and this is my last, so when I preach at all kind of churches, okay, and I
That's
do
because
my
you in New
research.
Jersey. Like everybody, look, his church is in New Jersey.
Yeah, I'm in Jersey City, baby. So
An amazing church, man. He likes Griff more than me, but we'll talk about that another.
we'll talk about that. So when I go to another church, I research the culture of that church. And if I find out that they frown upon women wearing pants, I'll let my women know, listen, this is not home. So if you're going to travel with me, don't make them miss the whole message because you're trying to prove a point about your pants. If your pants are that important in this particular environment, then I'd rather you stay home than for them to miss what God is trying to say to them. Paul said, I become all things to all men that I might win some. Paul never he never sinned to get all men, but at the same time, he was able, listen to what he said, to the Jew, I became a Jew. To the Roman, I became. So what he's saying is that I studied their culture and I brought the gospel to them in a way they can understand. Because the root of the point wasn't this other stuff we're fighting about. It was, did they hear the gospel? If I had to use a bird, did they hear the gospel? If I had to use a fish, did they hear the gospel? Right? If I had to use things that they understood that did not compromise my Christianity, did they hear the gospel? Right? Because again, the last thing I say is that it's his church. And I think we
It's
are
his
having a
house.
lot of opinion. Hey man, it's his church, right?
What you doing
So
here? What he doing his church? Listen, is a lot of people house I can walk in, keep my shoes on,
absolutely.
and then some
Absolutely.
people I got to kick my shoes off at the door.
Absolutely.
Am I being at the end of the day, I'm still welcome, but this is how we do it in this house. I love it.
Absolutely.
I'm the same way with my comedy. In certain churches, I know I can go up there and say certain things. Other
Right.
churches, I know, no, I can't do it in another church. I know your wife was on, hey, Rebecca, I was going to say World Outreach Christian Church,
Oh,
Jersey
she put it,
City.
I can't see the chat. She put it in the
She
chat.
said, we are World Outreach Christian Church,
Say it,
Jersey
baby.
City, New
Say it
Jersey.
with your whole chest.
We
That's
love,
right.
and then
Say
they
it.
told them that they
Man.
love. She didn't let me know that y'all love me too, not just Griff and
We
his
do,
wife.
man. Come
Once
on,
I
brother.
get when I get married, y'all will love me like y'all love Griff, but that's a whole nother time. That's a whole nother topic. Whole nother topic.
That's a whole
Man,
nother
thank you
topic.
so much for coming on, Pastor Shot. I came
No
on,
problem,
man.
man.
I'm opinionated, but here's one thing about me. I know that my view ain't the only view. God ain't just
Yeah,
create eyes
absolutely.
just for me. He gave them to everybody, and everybody saw. And he said, "This year I'm getting married this year," but that's more for sports. That's more of a sports thing. The reason why I need to get married.
Well,
But
let me
I
drop
love the
on
fact
that.
that you coming in your balance. And I even wanted to give a pastor that was just like William Murphy's going to hell. I wanted to hear
Yeah.
why you felt that. You know,
I mean, I think, guys, if we're going to be opinionated, let's stop. Let's not stop being Christians in our opinion, right? Because at the end of the day, and I think back, and I want to keep bringing it up, but our friend, what he went through when he got attacked by another fellow comedian, to me, the attacker was less Christian than the person she was attacking for not being a Christian. How about that? Because at some point, my question is, before you type that, for those who are, and I don't want to throw no shade, but for those who tend to be a little bit too opinionated when it comes to sending people to hell and these things, did you pray before you type? Forget that. Did you pray for him at all? I mean, if you see something that you didn't like, did you take some time to really say, God, I lift up the brother, right? Because I saw some things that didn't agree with my spirit. But God, I don't want to be out here being too judgmental because I don't know the whole story. And God, if he did miss it, I trust that you can speak to him. I trust that you can make the difference because I believe if he can write songs that we singing, then he can hear from you for that. He can hear from you this. That's why I put in my comment. Some things we just need more prayer, and so we're going to be opinion, and that's what I try to do when I talk. Is that my balance is not just me being balanced; it's me being mindful, right? I'm being mindful. I'm being mindful that I represent God. And so that's why I try not to throw anybody under the bus. I can disagree with anybody without being bashful, without being condemning, without being mean, guys. Even if you disagree, don't throw away your Christianity in your comment section.
that happens to me all the time. Now I can stay saved for about 4 comments, and then after that,
Well,
I just gotta go.
I'm getting off right now.
Yeah, they're like 4 comments, and then I'm like, you know what? That's why your mama is really your daddy. So I get what you're saying. I think one of the main people who I was having this conversation with at the end of the day, I was like, look, God bless you. God, I was like, listen, God bless you.
Absolutely.
God bless, brother. I don't agree with you, but I still feel
Right.
like God bless you. Like, and
Yeah.
I think there's enough room. I think there's enough room, even in Christianity, as we all grow. I still think there's enough. I don't think anybody's an authority on this thing
Right.
to the
Good.
point where they
That's
know
good.
every single thing. So if I see
Right.
it, you see it, I still think,
Absolutely.
hey dog, I don't agree with you on that, man. Like literally, I just really don't agree with you on that. But you know what, dog? I see your point, and I see what a lot of people I see their point. I think a lot of people get so headstrong on proving their point right that they won't even see
Yeah.
what your point is. You know what I'm saying? Like
Absolutely.
this is just all I'm
Yeah.
saying about it. So I get it. I love it for you, man. I love you, bro. I'm leaning. Look at the living room. The living room is immaculate.
It's
Um,
beautiful. The
yeah,
living room is popping.
I'm about to go. I got a meeting at seven.
And to your fans, I promise I'm bringing Cletus to WOCC next year.
No, no,
He
that's
gonna
not
be.
promise. Cause hold on,
No, I'm
we a year.
promising.
No, we a year
You have
early.
to.
No, we a year
Uh-uh.
early, and I got big
No. But
plans
tell
for
the people what you
2024.
said though. Tell them you don't need no contract to come to me. You
Oh
said
no, I
I ain't got to
don't.
pay you, huh?
Whoa, wait a minute. Nope, no, that's not what I said. I said we don't need a
Okay, what you say?
contract. I said we don't need a
Oh, I still got to pay
contract
you though.
to work. Oh no, I did say no. I'll come because you invite me.
That's what I'm saying. But
No,
I
I
still got
said
to pay
some people only come to your church
you.
if they under contract. I was like, I don't need no contract. I'll come because you invited me. Like
Okay.
your birthday party. If you invited me to just when you had
You
your
just
birthday party,
showed up.
even if you had to just be
Okay.
like, I
You
want you at
right.
my birthday
You
party,
right. But I still got to
I'm
pay
like,
you.
I'm there.
I still
Yeah.
got to pay you though. Okay, no problem. I just want to be
You ain't
sure.
gotta
'Cause
pay me. If I work, then yeah, there's a
when
paycheck involved. But if I'm just, riding the pew, then I'm swag serving, no check necessary.
I love this dude. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
My
man.
family.
Yeah, we'll be there, man. And I'll be with Griff on Friday, so he'll probably lie about everything that happened up there. So let me get the truth from you. I'll be in Richmond, Virginia with Griff on Friday. So y'all tune in
Yes,
for that.
sir.
That's gonna be amazing, man. But
Oh,
thank
that's
you
gonna be
so much,
amazing.
Pastor Shy, man, just for being you, because you the man up there, man. And your wife said, I said, show me the money. And let me let y'all know something. If any comedians, singers, praise that's whatever, if their church, if World Outreach outreaches to you, I'm gonna tell you one thing. Even if they not a multi-million-dollar per Sunday church yet, when they bring you up, they treat you like you are. I've
Yes, sir.
never had a time where I've come up, man. And this was even before we was really friends like we are now. Like I
Right.
came up, you were just bringing me up kind of like as the talent. Dog, they made sure the day after service they still check with me, made sure I ate. I've been to some of the finest diners in New Jersey with them for breakfast in the
Yes, sir.
morning. They always put me in a nice hotel. They had a snack bag, all that stuff. His wife treats me amazing. They come pick me up from and sometimes the people they send to pick up from the airport are a little questionable. But God bless that brother and his on again, off again relationship. But they're amazing people, man. So they are operating. That's what I need to bring you on one Sunday about
Okay.
is how the church is treating people who are operating in the church. How
Mm,
sad it is that so many gospel artists who are so hundreds of thousands of records, still got to have regular jobs. It's crazy to
that's
me.
good.
If you
Yes,
win
sir.
American Idol, you ain't got to work another day in your life. But if you win Sunday's
Ain't that
Best,
something?
you go right back to
Ain't
church
that
on
something?
Monday. Um,
Yeah.
so all of that, man. So
Yeah.
I'm
No, that's good. Hold on. Listen, since you said that, we had a gospel artist. He did his first single for our Christmas. And I told the church, I said, listen, as Christians, don't just stream, spend.
don't just stream. Somebody just asked today when was the last gospel artist that went platinum, and I was like, Jesus, I don't know. The Bible, the only bestseller in Christianity, man. That's it. There ain't nobody buying. It's crazy. You tell me a gospel album that went. I don't even know if Kirk has ever gone platinum.
That's a good question. I don't know.
I'm about to Google it real quick before you go. It's crazy
Okay.
how we don't support. And it's crazy. It 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 is it's a bit much how the church treats people.
Yeah.
The artists
Yeah.
that come in and they definitely don't value you. They definitely don't value you. I'm gonna look up whether Kurt got one. We'll talk about. We're gonna bring.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
he's multi-platinum, Joseph. I said I just didn't know.
Okay.
Joseph
So
Williams
Kirk
came
went.
through
Okay.
like he's multi-platinum, like the
Oh,
grain
excuse
bars.
me.
Yeah,
Okay.
multi-Grammy, and you got multi-platinum. I apologize.
Okay.
Kirk is multi-platinum. So Stomp is working.
So, but that was Stump.
No, he said he got multi-platinum albums. LeBaron said,
Okay.
"Can I invite you to our church and just give you space to testify?" No, because if I start testifying, you got to
Yeah.
get the budget right. You got to have the budget right. Now, LeBaron is probably one of the top popcorn makers in the world. They got like 7,000 flavors of popcorn. Hey, that brother sent me Flavor World, I believe is the popcorn brand. He sent me, and
Okay.
this is what I'm talking about operating the excellence. I think I just did a show and he was there. That dude, he's like, yo, what's your address? And I gave him my address, which is strange because, I don't normally give strange men my address, but he came through pretty solid. All of a sudden, dog, I had like 16 million bags of popcorn in
Oh,
every flavor and high quality, better than that popcorn that everybody's doing the fundraisers with. LeBaron, Popcorn World, y'all got to check him out, man.
yeah,
LeBaron, real
Rebecca, get that information, baby.
put your stuff in there real quick, because his wife is watching so she can see it. LeBaron, put your popcorn in there. I tell everybody about the popcorn. He got flavors of popcorn. You be like, how? You be like, steak and egg popcorn? Like, well, how are we doing this? But he just got amazing popcorn flavors, and he's great. He's a black man, and I love supporting him, man. So I think it's Popcorn World, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, there it is. Doing the world of flavor. Doing
Oh
the
wow,
world
that's
of
not
flavor.com.
wow.
Y'all go check his popcorn out, man. It's actually affordable. It's not $16 million a bag. And next up, we need to get the church back to katydids. That's when we got away from Jesus. When we stopped doing katydids in the church, that's when the Lord was locked out. Katydids for the Lord. You don't even know what a katydid is, do you, Pastor
I have
Shot?
no idea. You know, I don't. I
That's
don't.
a
I don't.
southern. See, that's a southern church favorite. The katydid. You don't know what a katydid is?
No, I
All
don't.
right. When I come to where outreach, I'm gonna come to where outreach. I'm bringing some cake. Your wife is southern-ish. She,
She from Chicago, Doc.
I know
She from
ish.
hold on,
Chicago is
Evanston.
southern
She
ish.
she's from Evanston, Illinois. Let me make that plain because she jumped on me about saying she from Chicago.
Yeah, she ain't. She ain't. Look at the people talking about some blessed of the Lord. Y'all got the best taste in U-Haul. I don't know if anybody eats U-Haul. I don't even know how that works. But yeah, he's George is an amazing truck driver. So if you ever need something long haul trucking, I
Okay.
don't know how that works. I don't really know how to plug a truck driver. But they now look, everybody wants to send you some katydids. I've already
What is
been
a
in trouble.
Katydid?
It's a delicious. I can't explain. It's a candy. I can't explain it. It's got chocolate and then it it's a katydid.
Somebody please send me one of those so I know what you're talking about.
We got to send you some katydids.
Please.
They said, "Let me know when you're going after we go to the diner and eat katydids." And she giving the word. They also called turtles.
Oh, the chocolate turtles? It's not.
Yeah, your wife knows what it is. Yeah, the chocolate turtles. Isn't that like the turtle candy? Yeah, chocolate turtles. Some people call them turtles. They do have a turtleish,
Oh, okay. All right, I'm with you now.
but
Yeah.
in the South we call
We
them
call them chocolate
katydids.
turtle. Okay,
We
okay,
call them katydids down here because
okay. Do
that
y'all
was
call it Arnold Palmer or half and half or uptown?
I call it a half and half. But the Arnold Palmer is also known. The Uptown, I think that's y'all up
That's
there.
up here. Okay.
Yeah, y'all
All right.
call it an Uptown up there. Um, I call it a half and half. You got to continue further down south before it becomes an Arnold Palmer. But at this point, I just call it a Sunjoy because that's what they serve at Chick-fil-A. It's the Sunjoy, and that is of God. That is of God. The Sunjoy is listen. That is of God. The Sunjoy, they know what they're doing at Chick-fil-A.
And every church usher needs to go to Chick-fil-A because they'll show you how to usher right.
Listen, the spirit the spirit of welcome and giving that they teach at Chick-fil-A unmatched.
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 McDonald's could never. I don't listen. I don't know if they do this at the Chick-fil-A's in New Jersey, but here they don't even let us talk into the machine anymore. You don't drive up to the speaker box and talk. They got them kids out there, rain,
Yes,
sleet,
sir.
snow. If you ever let me tell you how the glory of God falls upon you. If
Okay.
you ever go to a Chick-fil-A like in the wintertime, roll your window and feel the warmth generated underneath that area. It's like a whole nother environment. It's an ecosystem within the ecosystem. God has touched that area. Listen, there's nothing like Chick-fil-A anywhere. And people have been trying to my pleasure themselves at other wait a minute, not pleasure themselves. That came out wrong. That's Burger King. So other people have been trying to just they trying to live the Chick-fil-A life, but all they doing is saying my pleasure. Like you can't cuss me out the whole order and then at the end be like
Right.
my pleasure.
Right. Right.
That's where they
Right.
missing it.
Don't work. Yeah, don't work.
They missing it. Listen, McDonald's could never. I don't even know if Burger King is still a functioning restaurant. I don't know. I can't tell you a person who's gone to Burger King on purpose in the last 20
Oh
years.
my God.
People talk about Arby's, but Arby's is delicious. I don't care what y'all say. Arby's is delicious. I can't say the same for Burger King. I don't know the last time I
Yeah.
had a Whopper
I don't
on
know. It's been a
purpose.
minute. On purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody ever wakes up and like, I got a hankering for some Burger King. If you go to Burger King, it's usually at a truck stop
Mm-hmm.
or some of that nature. Now, first of all, I don't know which one y'all got up there, Pastor Shy. I'm getting ready to get off here, Pastor Shy.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know your husband was the DM at Burger King. Lord, I apologize. I apologize.
Oh, Lord. I knew it. I knew it.
I,
I knew it was
I
somebody on here.
apologize. I apologize. I still ain't gonna eat there. But I don't know if y'all got rallies or checkers in New Jersey.
Checkers.
First of all, the disrespect of anybody that you go in there, never gonna get treated well in the rallies or checkers.
Is
Never.
that right?
Never. And let me tell you something. If you see more than two people in line at Bojangles, our wait.
Yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that. And then they're gonna be out of stuff when you get to the window.
Now Carlita said she got some coupons for me. Well, if you hit me with them coupons, I may be a
Then you
loyal
might
Burger
go.
King. I may be back in there. Johnny said, "Don't do Burger King like this." Y'all are defending Burger King. I've
Man,
got children, and they never say Burger King. Now, Burger King may have had a shot, but we have something here called Cookout. Now, I know y'all ain't got
yeah, I
Cookout in
know
New
about
Jersey.
cookout. We don't have it here, but I know about cookout.
Cookout took them out all the way out. Cookout took Burger King all the way out. And here's the thing about Cookout. Cookout raised their prices on us real slow. Cookout, you used to be able to go to Cookout and get a burger, 2 sides, a drink, a milkshake, and probably something else for like $3.99. Now they done raised the price on it. Cookout
Crazy.
used to be Cookout. Listen, first of all, look, your wife said I only like the milkshakes from Cookout.
Yeah.
The milkshake ain't even really a milkshake. It's just ice cream. They just put some ice cream in a cup. You can call it a milkshake if you want to. Cookout used to be glorious. Now I just went to Cookout. Now it's like $20. But Cookout side dishes is really entrees. You can go to Cookout and get a barbecue sandwich, and as your side, get some chicken nuggets and a bacon wrap as your sides, and then get a drink. It's crazy out there. Cookout, they reinventing fatness. Keisha said the milkshake's too thick. Now, if there weren't so many save people on here, I would tell y'all how I really feel about the Cookout milkshake. But we'll talk
Yeah.
about that. We'll talk
Yeah.
about that
Yeah.
another day.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I felt
that'll
yes.
be for
Well,
your
tomorrow.
for your save ministry.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
so next year when I'm married, then I'm coming back with a whole different thing. And Pastor Si, you gotta watch Dave Chappelle special, man. It's really good. Dave Chappelle's a genius.
Okay. I'm gonna check that out. Yeah. I'll check it out.
Yeah, Dave's a
That's my
genius,
dude.
man. Yeah,
Okay.
he's a genius. The special is great, so we're good. All right, I'm out for real because I got a
All right.
7 o'clock. I'm out. Hey
Yes,
man, I
sir.
appreciate you so much. I love you, bro, and Lady Rebecca as well, man. Y'all are amazing, and I'm coming up to Jersey City. That's my like 5th home, but
That's right. Yes, sir.
I love you. Their milkshake ain't Snoop keeps saying this year. How you gonna keep putting marriage on me? So here's what I said. So last night, as you know, I'm a huge Alabama fan. Alabama lost last night, and I was like, I'm not gonna continue to be unmarried because after these tough losses, I need somebody to take it out on. And I ain't
Okay.
talking about fighting. I need to be
Okay.
able,
Okay.
I need to be
Okay.
comforted. I
Okay.
need a comforter.
Okay.
The
Okay.
Lord said he'll send me back one. And so that's what I need. So I can't remain
Okay.
unmarried. So I'm gonna get married this year. I just cut my hand washing dishes. So that was the first thing that I know I needed to get married. And second, I need to get married just so I can have somebody to comfort me after my team loses. Or
Got
to
you.
celebrate with me when the team wins.
When they
Huh?
win. Okay.
Huh? I'm getting married for the sport. And to be honest, I want a wife. I gotta go. But I want a wife who likes the team that I don't like.
Okay.
I want us to be fans of separate teams.
Okay.
Because when your teams play each other, that married bet between husband and wife on the game, next level.
So, so make sure you put on the team that you don't
Next
like
level.
in the chat,
Next level. Well,
so
everybody
that
knows I'm
women
a
can.
Bronco fan. I'm an Alabama fan. Those are the two big ones. And then the
Okay.
rest of the sports, I like
Okay.
the Yankees. Oh, and I'm a big UNC Tar Heel basketball fan. So
Okay.
if I find a wife that likes Duke, the
Oh
Raiders,
man.
or
Mm-hmm.
Auburn, or Georgia,
Oh
cuz.
man. There it is.
Woo.
Show me a sign.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Just have her walk by me in a Raiders outfit, Lord. I'm out, man. Love you, man. I'm gonna get on you. We're gonna
All
talk
right. Love
about
you back.
working for God but still being poor.
Okay. Let's make it happen.
If I get a wife that likes Dallas, that's gonna be too easy because she's gonna be used to disappointment. It ain't gonna be nothing I could do to make her happy. That's why you don't want a Dallas fan wife. Guess what? All right, I'm out.
All right.